Hello everyone, Manathrone here. Welcome to, I want to give a little bit of a review. It's been a little while since I did a follow-up video for a review for the chair I'm using, but also for the Razer Leviathan. Reason being that it has been a little while since I've done a follow-up review is because I wanted to give some time in between each one. This way, some time has passed, and I know sometimes people were wondering, okay, these racer chairs, are they worth it? And I have to say they're worth it. It still looks exactly like I got it. Like I just got it, and I actually got it back in April, believe it was. It was either February or April. So far, I've had this chair now, and if you guys see the original video for when I was giving the review there, it's still the same comfort level. I've gotten more accustomed to it, and I've figured out some things since the original video about the Racer chair, but overall it's still very good. It doesn't even have like an indent yet of where I'm sitting, and considering I sit here usually anywhere from 2+ hours per day, it still doesn't have that dent in it, which is actually very impressive. Now I did get a little bit more comfortable since I first got it, because the cushion did get worn down, maybe very, very little, just enough where it became extremely comfortable, more so than it was. But overall, everything still works really great on it. It still looks brand new. I mean, for the amount of money you put into these racer chairs, they're extremely worth it. Now, given somebody my size, I am a bigger guy, like I've said before in the videos, so getting a chair that actually supports somebody who is 200 plus pounds, or 240 plus, it's kind of hard to do. And this chair supports me quite easily, and I'm not having any issues with it. The wheels roll just fine. The cushion's still fantastic. I'm having no problems. Whereas if I'd get those, I used to get the cheaper chairs from Walmart and stuff like that for like $30, $40, whatever they were, and within maybe a month or two they were uncomfortable by the end. By the end of it. To the point where it was tolerable, but if you sat there too long, it would start to bother you a little bit. This chair, I can easily say, is still holding up fantastically, and it's still doing phenomenal to this day. And so my honest review on this, like, I'll do a 1-year video on it yet, and then that'll probably be it. And my thought is, if it's still good after 1 year, you're more than getting your money out of it. I know the racer chair, the DXRacer chairs, they're kind of a bit on the pricey side, but when you're talking about comfort and quality and longevity of the product, these are actually the way to go, so far from my experience. Now, of course, there is going to be, probably, a bad chair here and there, maybe they don't hold up as good sometimes for certain products. There is, that happens, do expect that. But for this chair, it's been holding up fantastically. So if you are looking for a good computer chair, I would highly recommend the DXRacer series, like any one of them. Just when you do go to their official website, don't go to like some weird off-brand one. I mean, you might be able to get them from Newegg for about the same price, but make sure it's a reputable place, not just some random website that's trying to sell them for dirt cheap, because you might be getting scammed or worse. So I would highly recommend these chairs. Now, for the Razer Leviathan, and if you're not familiar with what the Razer Leviathan is, it is Razer's version of a soundbar. Now, if you've seen my previous video was setting one up, and then giving a review of how it was after 1 month, because I had seen a lot of reviews that were saying after 1 month it loses quality, it's no good anymore. And I did a 1 month review to give my feedback on it, and mine's holding up perfectly fine. Even after, the 1 month, it was holding up perfectly fine. And now still to this day, it still holds up perfectly fine. I have no issues with it. The only thing that I would change about it, and this is the only thing I would change about it, well, maybe two things. Just two things, and they're so small that it's actually insignificant on the grand scale. Number one, it would be really cool if it actually came with remote and had a remote accessible, because there is a few options on it, and if you use the toggles on the top, I mean, it's all easy to understand, but let's say somebody has it set up for their TV or something like that. It would be nice for people who are using it like for a TV. I know it's probably meant for computers. That's probably why they didn't include a remote. And most computers, people are pretty close. I mean, there is the couch gamers, but I used to actually do that for a lot of my videos. If you guys have seen some of my older videos, there's a lot of comfort in that, but it's not really ideal for what I'm doing here. Sorry, but the soundbar is holding up perfectly fine. And the other thing, and I know it's probably something that is pretty normal, and that is the audio cable. It's a very thin cable, and it doesn't really lock too well into place in both the back of the Leviathan and into the back of my computer for that digital audio. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, it's how it should be. It's just I'm very fussy with my plugs, and I like whenever I plug them in that they're really socketed, where to me it feels like if they get tugged on just a tiny bit, it's going to come unplugged, and I don't like that. But that's a personal preference of mine. So it's nothing against the product, because it's probably actually very typical. It just seems like it could have been a little bit different of a plug. But so for these two products, the Racer chair and the Razer Leviathan, I know you guys can't quite see it right now. Let me see if I can't. This way I can show you guys. Oh, that's different. I didn't know that was like that. Okay. I'll have to move my camera, so bear with me a little bit. But yeah, it's this right here. So, yeah. It's holding up very well. Did not realize that was a thing. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, it's holding up extremely well. Just in case, you guys were curious about what it is. It's a sound bar. Nothing, over the top fancy, but it is a sound bar. And it holds up fantastic. So, I mean, the 1 month reviews where people are having problems, it might have just been a bad one. So if you guys do go to see if we're looking for a sound bar, it is on, yes, the higher end of the money, but for the quality, for everything with it, I know I can't really do too much of a video recording the sound of it, but it is extremely good for what it is. I have no issues with it, and I've been using it for well over a month now, so there's people who had issues with it within a month. Maybe just had a bad product, or maybe they were expecting so much more than it actually was and were disappointed. Buyer's remorse, if you will. But that'll actually do it for today's video. Sorry it's not actually a gameplay video, but every now and then I do like to do review videos, tech videos, and stuff like that. And eventually soon we're going to be doing some unboxing crates again, or unboxing videos again for Loot Gaming. I know I was going to switch it up and go to like a different series in time, but now I couldn't resist going for this month, so it's a good month for it. So that'll do it for today's videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.